Well, good afternoon, everybody out there in the United world. It's always a good day when United gets a win. I would not say we played well, but we did enough to get the victory today, and so we can celebrate. Top four race could potentially be back on now. I cannot wait to see how this season finishes out now, and I have got some great hosts along with us today. And so for today, we have got President Chad, we got Greg B, and of course the man out there in Canada, we got Big Phil. Guys, how you doing today?
Manchester United won a game. I'm happy.
Yes, of course. What about you, Greg B and Phil?
I'm just grateful to just be here right now. I mean, right now, COVID is kicking me in the shins, so I'm in quarantine. But I'm in good spirits. We won a game today, and I think the weekend's making things easier for me. So hopefully, everything runs smoothly from here on. So we'll deal with that.
Yeah, everything good, man. I was very skeptical of what we were gonna do versus Spurs, but one man rose to the occasion today, and we'll talk about that later. That's all.
And good afternoon to Martin Phillip as well. Always typically the first one to comment too. So, Big Phil, now tell me overall, how did you feel about the match? How did you feel that we played? What did you feel about the changes that were made? Just give me your overall take of the match for today.
Yeah, so obviously, good to see Dallo back in the team. I just was quite not sure over the last probably month why he wasn't being included, right? Um, at the end of the day, a lot of people were criticizing Ronaldo over the last probably month and a half because of his output. And, people have the right to because Ronaldo was being a bit wasteful in some of the games before, right? But in today's game, Ronaldo just rolled back the years, right? Um, in how we performed today, I would say maybe three or four players performed well today. That's Ronaldo, Fredgar Davids, Jadon Sancho, and maybe Varane, right? Other than that, I think Spurs had more control of the game than us. There were just times we were just passing the ball back and forth between Maguire and Varane, Maguire and Varane, Maguire and Varane, right? Pogba today playing in the number 10. He was definitely dreadful today. Definitely was holding on to the ball a bit too long, was trying too much tricks and flicks in crucial areas. He had glimpses where he was starting attacks and pulling off some dribbles, right? But I think more of him giving away the ball today outweighed those dribbles and starting attacks, right? Um, Harry Maguire. Don't get me wrong. Despite of the own goal, Harry Maguire was actually winning headers, but he's supposed to, right? He's supposed to. Um, but other than that, man, the team did enough, like you said, Devin, to scrape a 3-2 victory over those Spuds. You can do the double over Man City, but you can never, ever, ever do the double over Manchester United. And I'll leave it there.
President Chad, the floor is yours. Same questions.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry about that, guys. I mean, how could you react other than being extremely happy that Cristiano Ronaldo has found his mojo? Because Cristiano Ronaldo was missing his mojo. And I don't know if you all remember, there was an opening sequence in the first 5 minutes of the game where Ronaldo and Sancho was on the wing and they got the ball and Ronaldo passed the ball to Sancho. Sancho was looking to make a run and looked and realized that Ronaldo not running. So he passed it back to Ronaldo and Ronaldo just kind of take 2 steps, pass it back to Sancho. No run was made. And when I saw that at the beginning of the game, I was like, OMG. Come on, Ronaldo. You're supposed to be fit. You come back, you say you're fit. I mean, you can't come and give us a next game where you ain't running. You're not up to speed. But he showed up as the game continued to go on, and every time there was a question asked, he answered the call. So I am happy to see Cristiano Ronaldo and his mojo back, and I hope Long may it continue because we need some of that mojo on Tuesday in the Champions League. So, that's it. That's my assessment. Okay. I must big up Cristiano Ronaldo and I must highlight Harry Maguire.
Lord.
Let me tell you something. They say when it rains, it pours. When I saw that ball going in the back of the net for that own goal, and it was Harry, I was like, nah, boy. Somebody put a big B on your back, boy. A big B for boo boo, boy. Wow. How so unbitter you could be, boy. Seriously. A own goal, Harry, boy. I mean, and let's be honest, we would say, and honestly so, that Spurs don't control the game. Spurs control the game, but Spurs didn't dominate the game. Spurs had a penalty and a own goal. They didn't have a goal from open play, and after they didn't have that many saves to make. Right? And we know what that is like to control a game and to see very little rewards. So yes, Spurs control the game, but we still did more than enough to keep them out, and we are definitely deserving victors today.
So, President Chad, I must also highlight, if you remember what you said in our preview earlier today as well, where you said you did not think that Ronaldo would come out and have that much of an impact today.
I also said that my preference was for Ronaldo.
Call him out, Devin. Call him out. Call him out.
Come
Call
off
him
the
out.
bench and to play on Tuesday, to start on Tuesday. You know what I mean? But I don't mind eating those words.
Yes.
I will eat those words with salt and black pepper.
Yeah, I always had that feeling where it's big players step up. He reminds me of one of those players who say, "Oh, you can doubt me, all right? Well, watch it happen next match." Yeah, remember, I said that before too. That I feel you can do something in this match. Would I have predicted a hat trick? No, but I said I expected at least a goal or two. So moving on to Greg B now. What were your overall thoughts about the match today?
I'm gonna put it to you like this: when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo, I think given the fact that he hasn't scored for so long this in the league this season, he kind of had a bit of a chip on his shoulder. So he came into this game with a point to prove more than anything else. And so said, so done. Overall, the play wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It wasn't a dominant display that we probably would have expected from Manchester United. But we did enough within the intervals to make sure that we got the goals needed. It just felt like a lot of times it was us playing a game of one-upsmanship with Tottenham throughout most of the game, because as we score, they score. As they decide, all right, we got to equalize again. And I don't know. As President Chad touched on that whole thing with Harry Maguire, is like, outside of that own goal, it wasn't the worst game from him, honestly. If we're being real, I mean, I get that he has an accident in him. Well, in fact, like about 5 accidents in him per game. But when you look at his overall play throughout the majority of the match, it wasn't the worst thing. It just so happens that, like many other defenders, Eric Bailly as well this season, if everybody remembers the Manchester derby, he scored an own goal too. So it happens to the best of them, and he just decided to help Tottenham's third highest goal scorer add to their tally as well today. But overall, I was pleased with the result, and I was okay with the performance. Can we do better? Yes. Am I hoping that we can do better against Atletico Madrid? I hope so. But it remains to be seen. But for now, I relish the fact that we were able to put away goals, which has been one of our biggest issues over the last 4 games. Because now it shows that people are finding their goal scoring boots. And like President Chad said, long may it continue.
So my personal take on this match today was, I think we did enough to get the win. I thought that we came out looking strong. We scored the early goal in the 12th minute, if I remember correct. And then it seemed that we kind of started to let off the gas a little bit. They got, the penalty. We should have had a penalty from Dyer, but people are saying that it didn't get called because Dyer's arm was in a natural position.
And here's my thing. As we're touching on that, Devin, I watched that whole situation. When I watched the replay of where, I think it was Eric Dyer's hand you said it hits off of, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched that in my mind. I'm like, isn't the rule that once the arm is away from the body, that it's being made bigger and it can be considered an obstruction?
Is that what they were saying, that it was pretty much his arm was in a natural position, and that they from what I was told is that it was ball to hand, and he didn't have time to move his arm out of the way. But moving on now. Tellez concedes a penalty. I can't really have any arguments against it. To me, I tried to look for a way to defend it. I couldn't see it. Harry Maguire steps up, slots home. It was a brilliant penalty. De
You
Gea
said
gets
Harry
the right.
Maguire.
Harry Kane.
You said Harry
Sorry,
Maguire.
sorry.
Harry
Yeah. Harry Maguire slotted home an own goal. That's what I meant to say. But Harry Kane goes in, slots in a brilliant penalty, and then of course cometh the man, Ronaldo again, ready to say, "Yeah, boy, watch me now." So we go at halftime. I'm thinking, all right, we're good right now. But I know I could not have been the only person thinking first half FC. Do not let it happen again. That was my biggest fear seeing as this game was going. And it seemed that we came out kind of slow and we were waiting for Spurs to come out and make something happen. And of course, leave it to who I said originally. Harry Maguire then. Yep. So game goes in. I'm thinking, oh Lord, here we go. Like this could be the season right now. Let's see what can happen. I was actually very pleased when I saw Cavani come on as well, because I was figuring, okay, it could leave some space. Now we can get something to happen. And of course, Mr. Inevitable scores the winner. And to me, I was ecstatic. But I can tell you, after that goal went in, for the rest of that match, I probably got so many different gray hairs now across my beard and my hair, because I just had the feeling, with the way how this side has been so inconsistent, that you never knew. And Spurs looked real promising. Son was maybe a foot away from equalizing in this game. So. But it is what it is. We did enough to get the victory. So let's move on to Tuesday. But before we do that, everybody, please do not forget about our One Love United campaign. If you would like to win this Bruno Fernandes signed shirt, signed, authenticated, everything too, please make sure that you are subscribed to us on YouTube and you comment One Love United. Every comment you get is one entry into the hat. At the end on the 24th, we will draw it, and then I will be posting this out to somebody, and you get yourself some good memorabilia.
Yeah, can I just weigh in on that One Love promotion there?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, as Devin said, the whole One Love promotion, for those people on YouTube, you just have to like the video, comment One Love United, and that's it. You're entered in, and every video between now and the 25th, you're going to have an opportunity to enter again. You know what I mean? So make sure and do that, because who doesn't want to sign Bruno Fernandes shirt that comes with a letter of authenticity and all? I know I want one.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be real hard to give up this shirt, but you know what? It will go to a very deserving fan, especially after you follow all these rules. Yes, for sure. So let's go into some comments here now. Reading back from the beginning now. Siraj, I know we put up some before. Siraj was saying that we're still not clinical. For the most part, I would have to agree. We depended on a brilliance of the best player of all time. So for that one, I will have to agree. Martin Phillip again. I think we can all agree with that one.
Especially because Bruno didn't play.
That too. as we just hype up, trying to give out a statement. Sure.
Yes, you notice he walked off the screen when they put it on the display, right?
Mikel saying greatest Ronaldo, and men call him a surplus. That's an interesting comment to say the least. I think he's a man for big occasions. Do I think he's a man for every single match? No. Anybody disagree with that?
No, you just run through the comments, man.
Yeah, just run through the comments.
Siraj, that's the effect of Ronaldo. Definitely agree. Maguire, yep, we all are in the same consensus with that. Pogba is not good. Talk none.
That's gonna rub somebody the wrong way. Feeling to walk off the screen again, sir?
Harry was playing in a false 5 position. What else is new? Alan, great game, guys. We did enough. We did enough to win. So Fred was bossing it in midfield. Yes, I. We will get in. We will get into this on this show as well once we go into our overall player ratings. But I thought Fred had a great game, and I thought that he did his job of marking Son out of that game for the most part very, very well. Um, Fred is better than Pogba, Maguire, garbage. In this match, yes, that was definitely true.
Yeah, just this match. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ralph picked the correct team minus Maguire. Agreed to. Pogba made us lose control in midfield. He plays too slow. So that's the same comment again. So
No, this one included Rashford.
Good game, fellas. Ronaldo won us the game, but Matic made a difference in midfield. His stability gave Fred confidence to move forward. Fred nutmeg, Fred flick assist, running through midfield. Yes, I could definitely agree. And all the times we wish Matic was just a little bit younger, because I thought Matic was a big part of this game today for sure. President Chad, no cup today.
Water today. When we win, you drink water.
We drink water and then yes, correct.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I know
you want to say it. You know you want to say it, Devin. You want to say it.
Yes. So I don't hear all the haters that were talking before, but you know me, I just gone. Exactly. Everybody knows exactly what I was saying there. We have our first comment for the day, first entry going in for today. So, guys, don't forget.
You have to do it on the YouTube channel, remember?
So that's
afterwards, after you watch the video on Facebook, you have to go on YouTube and do it.
Yeah.
So for everybody on YouTube right now, if you want this shirt, make sure you comment One Love United and like the video as well, too. And last but most certainly not least, Pogba needs to speed up his gameplay. Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. It almost reminds you of like, you remember how Berbatov always seemed to be playing so slow, but he was always in the game. And so I think that's the style that Pogba tries to play, but he's not as effective at it as Berbatov.
Nah, Devin, don't do Burby that. Burby used to look like he was on go slow. He used to look when Burby get the ball is like a press slow down on the TV. That's how Burby used to look. But I don't ever remember Berbatov getting caught on the ball.
That's
Never.
true.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember anybody coming, tackling the ball, taking the ball from him. Burby used to move that ball, and that his slowness was deceptive. He used to feel he was slow until he started to speed up.
He should have started in that Champions League final.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Pogba is another story. Pogba's slowness is usually Pogba is slow because he wants to progress the ball up the pitch and he not seeing a pass. Oh gosh. If you're not seeing the pass up the pitch, you wouldn't die if you pass the ball in the back here. Two men closing in and you're holding on to the ball. To do what? What you doing? Pass the damn ball, man. Pass the ball.
So moving on now, we're going to cover a little bit about each goal now. We'll start with Ronaldo, minute 12. Coming for the man, coming for the occasion. We needed something special. Man from 25 yards out, rolling back the years. Even when you watch the replays in slow-mo, that ball was still flying. Hugo Lloris, no chance at it at all. But as great as that goal was, I still think that flick from Fred right before, that needs to be talked about as well, too.
That made that happen. That was basically the opening that was given there for Ronaldo to be able to let that strike off.
Yeah,
and when I saw him,
you would have never seen John Old McKell do that. Everybody coming at Greg B. Oh, Greg B. want Fred over Old McKell. Boy, Fred has a better football brain than John Old McKell. Come on. But anyway, I don't want to bring John Old McKell into this. Devin was right.
That's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, Devin was right. That flick from Fred definitely. You didn't see that coming because at the end of the day, unless Fred plays as a Brazilian and he plays as a non-Brazilian sometimes, right? But to focus on Ronaldo's goal, right? I know he had it. I know we all know he has it in his locker, right? But with the form that Ronaldo is in, like how Ronaldo plays, he's as a poacher, right? But for Ronaldo to take that ball from 25 yards out and just smack it and pin up Hugo Lloris, boy. I will
You know,
admit though, I didn't get any energy to celebrate the goal though, because I knew I was still a bit cautious because I know that this United team still leaks in goals as well too. So
I have to disagree with you there. I was celebrating that goal because we all know that Ronaldo needed that goal to get him started back up, get his confidence going again. And I'm not sure if you all remember this in 2009 when we played in the semifinal against Porto. You remember that? You remember that goal that he struck out long range? Oh,
that goal versus Porto
Jesus.
cannot be that goal versus Porto cannot be compared to that goal. Come on.
all I'm saying is it reminded me of that big time occasion. We needed a goal, and who stepped up? Of
I'll
course,
do you one better, Devin. I'll do you one better. The free kick against Arsenal in the Emirates.
You see, the only reason why I didn't mention that one because that one was off a set piece. This one was live play. That was off a dead ball.
Yeah, but it's
But no,
it's a
no.
dead
It was
ball.
still-
Do
it
you
was
It's a
see how
dead
far?
it
ball.
was still,
You know how
still
hard
big
that is to
needed
score?
the goal, how far out that was.
You
Yes,
saw how
I
far.
yes.
You saw how far that set piece was against Arsenal though. Oh my
That's
gosh.
that's
Yes.
a dead ball. So that's to tell you. Remember, at least with the one against Porto, that ball was still kind of moving, so you're still getting some momentum off of it. For him to strike that ball in one position and put it past Almunia. Almunia's crap anyway, but still, any goalkeeper that gets beaten from that distance off of a free kick, nah, you're not supposed to see the field after that.
So moving on to our next goal now. So Spurs first equalizer. Harry Kane penalty. Um, don't really. I know I mentioned it before. I can't argue that it should not have been called. His arm was away from his body. It was not in a natural position. It's unfortunate. David De Gea did guess the right way, but Kane just struck it too well, and
Mm. Yeah,
I
it was a very well
really,
taken penalty.
I, I don't really know what else to say about it. If anybody have
Yeah,
anything else,
there's nothing much to say. Ball to
You
hand.
can't really
I
elaborate on it. It is what it is.
I agree that it was a penalty. But you know what bother me, boy? Is how flippantly the ref disregard our possible penalty shot. He didn't even stand up and think about it. It was like, no, I don't know penalty. And then when the ball it tell us and he's like, yep, one time, twice, like, what's going on with this ref? I mean, think about it now.
But
Think about because
we all know that the refs in the EPL are the most inconsistent in the world. So I'm not even surprised, right? So and he did not even go to VAR, President Chad. So let's just move on. I've told people over the last probably 5 to 10 years, the refs in the EPL are so inconsistent.
and I agree with Kishore Basdio that definitely Teles had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
Is the kind of game that I've been waiting to see from Teles, doing a little more. Because I always say, as much as Teles puts in the early cross, my problem with Teles is that Shaw tends to do a little more. Shaw will make
Defensively,
he not just not defensively. I'm talking about he will make the additional run, the additional cut. Shaw does just do a little extra. Teles is a one-trick pony. You get the ball cross.
Correct.
And today, Teles was a little more active. So we'll definitely give him that.
so of course, going right before halftime, not too much long after, cometh the man, cometh the occasion. Ronaldo again, beautiful, slotted home from 6 yards out. Um, Lloris, I know you got a foot on that shot, but Ronaldo, of course, stepping up again.
Hmm.
There's you almost run out of things to say about him.
Absolutely not. You know what I like about all of our goals today? We scored in the 12th minute, right?
yeah.
Spurs scored in the 33rd minute. 5 minutes after, Ronaldo scored. Before they could really settle into a groove, in the second half, they scored in the 72nd minute.
We will
10
get.
minutes after.
We're getting too far ahead,
No.
President Chad. We're getting
I
too
ain't
far
talking about the
ahead.
goals. I'm just making a point. What I enjoyed about the game today is that every time United needed to step up, because one of the problems that we have had in this season in particular is sometimes we've been unable to put to click back up the gears. We could gear down, but we couldn't gear up. This game, we were able to gear up every time. So every time Spurs come and score, we're like, nah, no.
So about this Ronaldo goal in the 30th minute, the pass from Nemanja Matic to Sancho, inch perfect pass. Then the pass from Sancho to Ronaldo. Just to piggyback off of off of the Arsenal game that Greg me mentioned, right? Remember the counter attack when it was Jason when it was Jason Park to Rooney, and then Rooney slid over to Ronaldo. And that was
Slid
the
to
inch perfect
Ronaldo,
pass.
yeah. That's it. That
Yes.
one self.
It's one of those inch perfect pass. It couldn't go left or right. It was just a perfect pass, right? So and then Ronaldo does Ronaldo, right? 2-1 to Man United.
I'm still laughing at the fact that Serge Reguilon was trying to argue that Sancho was offside when he was the one playing him on.
Well, you know how it is.
dummy.
You know how it is. When you're the one at fault, you try to find some way to shift the blame or something else. So it's not your fault, but
I watched him like Fred Sanford. I was like, you big dummy.
so going into the second half now, we have to bring it up. Maguire
Put it in all caps though.
Maguire,
Everything else was in lowercase. You had to put the whole thing in all caps for Harry Maguire. Jeez.
I said what I said. So anyway, I had a feeling that Spurs were going to do something in the second half. We seemed to be not. What I'm saying?
Let him
Yes,
finish,
so
chap. Let him
what
press.
I am saying
President.
is we started.
President, let him finish.
We were not playing with the same intensity as we were before. We needed a wake up call. We started going a little bit slack, and we had this little thing where I was, like I said before, first half FC. We find some reason to play completely different in the second half for some reason, and to me, this was the wake up call for United. Like, all right, yeah, they're still here. You can't just see up this match as of yet, and well, Slabhead gets on the score sheet just for Tottenham in this case, and. He was playing he was having a decent game. He was clearing balls out, and it's just that we know that he's overdue for a mistake every match, and usually his mistakes lead to goals. So I don't really know what else to say about it, and it's a shame because if that cross hadn't gone through, it would have been offsides. But of course, in real time, he would not have known that. So. It is what it is.
And like I said, Dev, I mean, at the end of the day, like you were saying, he wasn't having the worst game. It's just put a damper on it, and everybody already has this expectancy of him to screw up somehow, and unfortunately, he lived up to that reputation.
Yeah, waiters. What we going to do is I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to call Ralph, and I'm going to tell Ralph to get some bay leaf. You understand? And boil it and give Harry a proper bush bath because something is wrong with this man. When the man having a good game, own goal. When he have a bad game, we concede about 3 or 4. I mean, what we gonna do with Harry? What we gonna do with Harry? You know what I mean? Harry was on Harry Kane. There are a couple of times he knock him down, he take the ball from him. Harry Maguire boss Harry Kane today. And all of us was concerned it would have go the other way around. If we honest, Harry Maguire boss Harry Kane today and still score one goal, boy. You man can't get a break. You man need a bush bat. You need a bush bat.
I like this comment here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell her to make sure I put the episodes on.
And then Ralph makes another change. He brings on Cavani. Game opens up. 81st minute. Once again, Ronaldo for the winner. And I would also like to add off of a corner as well, because everybody knows
our second corner in 152. Our second corner go from 152.
Everybody knows our stats now about how we are on corners and how amazing we are with swerve off corners. So come if the man, come if the occasion, step up that way, finish real strong. I can't remember which defender was trying to mark Ronaldo other games to outbody him.
I think it was Dyer. I think it was Eric Dyer.
Eric Diarrhea.
So come if the man, score that winner, and That's all she wrote.
And, and it's how Hugo Lloris was just planted like a tree on the ground. You're just watching it like it's like, well, I can't do nothing about that.
It's
Exactly.
sometimes when you're going on some shots, you're just like, it's like you know you have no chance, and you're like, it's just too, it's placed too well, or something else. You're like, I can't do anything about that. So
mm,
yeah, so and that's all she wrote. Manchester United 3, Tottenham 2. Is that Pink Boots the last man to wear pink shoes and score an own goal to Phil Jones?
Wait, what?
actually,
I'm
no.
trying to
Apparently,
figure.
they're talking about Harry Maguire's football boots. Apparently, they were pink.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
would?
but
Okay.
we weren't paying attention to all that. And like I said, and he's an accurate, but the last person to score an own goal. That was, like I said, it was Eric Bailly. So, but that's another story for another day. I mean,
He
it
was very
happened.
specific.
It,
He
it,
was
it,
very
it,
specific
in the
about
in the grand
wearing
scheme of
pink
things,
boots. I'm sure Eric
yeah.
Bye never wore any pink boots.
And so moving
You
on
know
to our
what?
next
Yeah, yeah.
our next section now too, we can go over the player ratings. So we will
Hmm.
start from the back now. And moving on, we'll start with our goalkeeper, David De Gea. And I'll go around the room now, and you tell me how you think his match rating was today overall. So we will start with President Chad.
I will give David De Gea a 6. There was one ball. There were a couple balls, not one. There was more than one
Mhm.
ball. His distribution was on the par today. But other than that, it was all right. So yeah, 6.
Big Phil.
yeah, 6 because I don't think David De Gea had any saves to make today.
Not
None.
really.
Other than that, yeah. Um, you can't see 2 goals. You ain't getting a 7, so you're getting a 6 for me.
Greg B.
Yeah, I think the general consensus 6. I mean, there was a couple of times he dealt with a few crosses that I was actually surprised that he did because David and crosses in the past have not been best friends. So that's a plus to him in that regard. But other than that, he didn't really have much to do outside of the own goal and the penalty. So yeah, 6.
So for me, I was thinking a 6 as well, and I'm not sure if you all noticed this as well. It was that one cross that Son put in towards the end of the match where the ball bounced in his 6, and from what I remember, if any time a ball goes into your 6, a goalkeeper has to be cleaning that ball. And we were lucky that Harry Maguire was not called back onto the pitch because he was getting treatment. Because I feel if Harry Kane was out there during that time, that might have had a different result than how it ended up. So I feel he got a little bit lucky on that. And I don't. Well, there's nothing he really could have done about either of the goals that were scored on him. The penalty was too brilliant, and Harry Maguire strikes again. So now on to Diego Dalot. Same order.
Diogo Dalot, when I see Diogo Dalot play for Manchester United, I just be like, who's there on Wan-Bissaka again? And then I don't understand. Diego will just disappear for a couple of games, and let's be like, why? But as far as ratings go, the low gets a solid 6.
Phil?
We conceded 2 goals. It's kind of hard to give more than that.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
had no assists.
yeah. Probably gonna give Dalo a 6 as well too. I've been saying it for the last probably 2 3 months now. The guy's a breath of fresh air going forward, right? And he did make a good couple of forward runs that I know Aaron Wan-Bissaka would have never made, right? So 6 for me as well too.
Yeah, I mean,
Greg B.
I think I share the same sentiments. Dalot's one of those players that he gives you an extra attacking edge as well coming from the right side. So you always have something extra coming off from there. Before, when he's not there, like I said, most of our stuff goes to the left, so our attack usually just looks very one-sided. So seeing him today going forward, he didn't have the most outstanding game, but he had a decent enough game. So yeah, 6.
So it's so far we have 2 6 ratings across the board, unanimous ratings, and I agree with everything you all said. Rafael Varane now,
Rafael Varane.
and this time I'm actually going to change the order. I will have Greg B go first on this one.
Okay, cool.
wasn't his most spectacular game, but he honestly didn't really put a foot wrong. So it's hard for me to give him anything higher than a 6.5 because he was good, but he wasn't outstandingly good. So that's just how I look at it. But typical Varane, he's quietly efficient. So 6.5.
Big Phil.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, 6.5. He didn't do anything spectacular. He did his job. Still conceded. Still conceded. Well, I don't want to say he conceded 2 goals because the
Not
penalty
his
was.
fault though.
They were not his fault. So
Yeah, they weren't his fault, right? By the end of the day, it's still Man United 3, Spurs 2, right? So I would say a 6.5, and I'll just leave it there.
6.
Right?
Nothing else to say.
I was actually going to say 6.5. So I thought that he did play above average. But the thing about him is he's not as vocal as some other players, and when he does his job and he does it well, and he just goes about his business now. So should we move into Harry Maguire now, or should we save him for last? Or you want to keep saying it now?
No,
Let's get it over with.
He's part of
All
the
right.
defense.
So,
So.
and on this one, I will start with Big Phil.
Yeah,
I saw that
gotta
look
give-
through the glasses. It's like a literal eye roll just now through the glasses.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I gotta
oh
get-
God, why me?
By
I
the
gotta
way,
give Harry
in the
Maguire a
comment section, feel free to comment any ratings you feel as well too.
yeah, Harry Maguire gets a 6 from me. If he hadn't scored that own goal, I probably would have given him the same score as Rafael Varane, but 6 for me for Harry Maguire.
So who's going next? What?
Fridge getting a
Wait,
2.
am I watching properly before we go any further? Am I seeing properly? Clive Jack actually has on a Manchester United jersey in his profile picture.
Woo!
Jeez, you made that change. You last
Clive!
Oh man. Okay. So okay. Ooh, I need a moment. Let me get back to this. Going back into Harry Maguire. Actually, I was gonna give him a 5.5, but
This is actually sorry, just to highlight on this comment. That is a good point that Ken brought up because Dyer did have
yes,
with the goal line
yes,
clearance.
we forgot about
That's-
that during the corner
That,
kick.
that
Yes,
is that is a very good point. Off of Dyer's header, that was for sure going in, and Dallo was right there with it.
Yeah, 0.5
Yeah.
added to the 6 for that.
All right. So yeah.
But
I was gonna give Harry Maguire a 5.5, but I'm giving him. I'm gonna stick with that because, like I said, even though he did concede the own goal, he didn't have the worst game in the world because, like you said, he did a pretty decent job keeping Harry Kane quiet. So that's still a decent reflection in retrospect. So yeah, he had one of his typical blunders today, but outside of that, he was going fairly well. So 5.5. The own goal kind of just dropped him down the back in order there for me.
Harry gets a strong 6 for me. Harry was going to get 8.
Say what now?
You know, I have the amount of times I saw Harry Kane on the ground today. It was good. It was nice to see. Harry Maguire was bossing Harry Kane. He was kicking Harry Kane down. Harry Kane was struggling to get into the game. Maguire was on him like white on rice. So he was going to get a strong 8. But you know when you get your own goal in fantasy, you get -2. So it -2 is 6. So Harry getting a 6 for me today.
Yeah, so I was gonna give him probably a 7 or a 7.5 before that happened. I thought he was playing well. I thought he was.
Devin, let me get some of your water, please. I want to know if it's actually water you have in
I am saying before the own goal. I was thinking, okay, he's playing well. They're doing okay. The goal they conceded was not his fault. And of course, as I'm thinking that, the inevitable happens, Maguire mistake,
Mm,
and that brings it back down. And to me, after that, now it's I think I'll have to give him a 6 for that one too. And now moving on to our next defender now, Alex Telles. President Chad.
Tellez, Tellez kind of like Maguire in the same way, you know. Tellez had a good game, but he was responsible for the penalty.
fair enough.
And you know, you know how do you weigh that? You know, how do you weigh that? It's not like a defensive blunder to say a letter money, you know, it wasn't picking up. Because let's be honest, guys, we all talk about how Spurs was dominating and controlling the game. But that defense, large ditch defending, that entire back line did really well. The amount of large ditch clearances, the heading of the line from the low, as was mentioned before, you know, that defense overall did well. So,
Mm.
you know, because at the penalty, I would have game a solid 6.
Big Phil.
So the penalty and the assist cancel out each other. So I'm going to give him a 6.5.
Greg B.
This is gonna sound like I'm biased towards Dallas, but I'm giving him a 7 because to me there were a lot of instances where he was lending a lot going forward as well too. I remember there was a kind of a toss. I think it was him and Hoiberg were going together for a ball, and he still won it off of him, and he switched to the right side and kind of sprayed the ball across. So there were instances where you saw him really getting into the game, which is something that, you know, a lot of people have said that they haven't seen Tellers do much of because, like President Chad said, he tends to look very one-dimensional when he plays. A lot of times he's getting forward, cross, go back. Today, he showed more different facets of what he's capable of, and of course, the assist from the corner kick for Cristiano Ronaldo to score. So I think that's enough for me. In spite of the handball, I'm still giving him a 7. It's just me.
Yeah, for me, it's I think I have to go with a 6.5, and it may seem harsh, but I am I am taking the assist into account, and then I'm also taking the penalty into account as well. Yes, his arm was not in a natural position; it hit his arm, and it is what it is. But it still led to a goal at the end of the day, and so I go with a 6.5. But now we move into the midfielders, and we will start with Nemanja Matic. Greg B.
Again, I share everybody's sentiments. If Nemanja Matic was like maybe 5 years younger, like say like a 27, 28, somewhere around there, Nemanja Matic would probably been one of our best players in the middle of the field. But still, in spite of his age, he puts in a shift. And I can't be mad at him because his legs are going. Age does that to everybody. So, given what he was able to contribute, I will give him a 7 as well too. Just for the sake of, you know, knowing what he was able to do with it within the time period he was there. To me, I really don't think he put a foot too wrong. There were a couple of instances where you got caught on the ball though, but outside of that, it didn't really have too much of a detrimental effect. So I'll give him a 7.
Big Phil.
Yeah, there were like Greg B said, there were a couple of instances where he held onto the ball too long. But other than that, he was a good anchor today, right? What I liked about Matic today was that he Pogba and Fred were so confident with Matic that they were allowed to go forward, right? So I'm gonna give Matic a 7 as well too, right? So yeah.
President Chad.
Um, Matic will get a solid 7. You know, Matic usually gives us excellent 60 minutes. I don't know, but Matic, he come like he come like a Samsung after 1 year. You know, as soon as the warranty is finished, he decide to get trouble. From the time that clock hits 60 minutes, you just see Matic literally expiring before your eyes. I don't know what is going on with Matic. You know, he giving you a solid 60. But the minute is 61 minutes. You need to get Matic off the pitch. So yeah, he got 7 today.
To anybody working Samsung, we do apologize. The views expressed by President Chad are not the views of United Hour, so we're just gonna.
And so we will go into Paul Pogba next. And wherever Big Phil went just now, he's hurry up and come back for this one. So with Paul Pogba, I will actually go first on this one.
So you skip Fred?
No, I save
We're
it.
coming
Fred
back to Fred. We're coming back to Fred.
I save it Fred for the last midfielder. So going into Paul Pogba now, it's I don't think he had one of his best games for United, to say the least. I thought there were times where he was slowing it down, kind of playing a little too laissez-faire for me. Um, for me, it's I'd probably have to give him a 6 today because I don't think it would be fair to give him the lowest rating today, especially after mistakes from other players. And because of that, I think a 6 right now is suitable for that. Big Phil, I know you're gonna have something to say about him, so I will let you go next.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Paul a 5.5 today. He was a bit lackadaisical on the ball in certain moments of the game, but there are points of the game where he did start a couple of plays that could have led to something, right? So it wasn't one of his best days at the office, so that's why I gave him a 5.5.
Greg B.
Um, he wasn't bad. I could say that much, but he wasn't great either. So, I mean, there was a couple of times you think he could have released the ball faster and started something. I mean, like a lot of us complain with him is that sometimes he tends to hesitate on the ball a lot, and that can kill any kind of momentum when it comes to letting attacks. I think there were instances where he could have played balls across, and we might have at least gotten maybe like 2 more goals out of the game if that was the case. But I'll give him a 6 because he wasn't painstakingly bad, but he wasn't great either.
I was talking to somebody before the game, and I was telling them, when I see Paul Pogba's haircut, I know what kind of performance we're gonna get from Paul. When he pull the color in the hair and the extensions, I know it's glamour boy Paul we going and get. When he take us normal, straightforward haircut, I know it's businessman Paul we going and get. I coming out there to work. I see you, I here to do work. When I saw the ball head, I was like, well, okay, let me see what the ball head is. And all I have to say to Paul Pogba is go to your barber, let him put some glue on your hair and put some here in your hair because we cannot deal with ball head Paul Pogba on Tuesday. Ball head Paul Pogba, as Clive say, is like ball head Martial. We don't need that. Ball head Paul Pogba need to go. I don't know how much hair could grow between Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but they had to do something. If they had a,
I mean,
I don't know, maybe
a
take
lot of us.
color marker and mark something on the head because that ball head not working at all. So
I could have swear it was like a tribute to Big Phil or something like that. I don't know if you talked to him over the phone over the weekend.
Pogba get 4 from me today, and I will tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he get 4 from me today. No Bruno Fernandes. I was expecting Paul Pogba to boss this game. Seriously, Paul, before the game started, I was telling somebody Paul Pogba is going to be the man of the match for this game. This is a game primed, perfect
That
for
aged,
Paul to come
that aged well, didn't it?
and dominate. And in the second half, Paul was giving away the ball like vintage Fred and McTominay. I say vintage because recent Fred and McTominay not doing that. But vintage Fred and McTominay used to give away the ball all the time. And in the second half, I see Paul hitting some passes. I had to rub my eyes. I said, "That's Paul Pogba though. Paul Pogba don't misplace the ball like that ever on his worst day." And I blame it on the haircut. So I just given him 4 today. But I do ever expect to see Paul Pogba with a 4 performance because whatever went wrong in the barber shop, I am sure it will never go wrong again. Paul will never play for Manchester United with a ball head, and we will never see that ever again. So yeah, 4 for me today.
I just want to say that the number of words President Chad said just now, you would have never heard that in any of the Leeds fixtures that Paul Pogba played in this season. Right? You would have never, ever, ever heard that amount of words. The amount of words President Chad said in both these fixtures is not even it's not even added up to how much words he said just now about Paul Pogba.
Because Phil, most of the time, you didn't say so much about Paul. All of us had to do is agree. I don't have something
Nah,
to
but
say.
at the end of the day, we have acknowledged that Paul Pogba had a bad game. If you want to talk an essay, go and talk to Charles Dickens. That's what you gotta do.
And so now going on to our last defender today, we have Fred. And I will go first on this one. I thought Fred, this was one of the best games he's played for Manchester United. I think that he had a very difficult job today. I think he probably had the hardest job out there on the pitch today and marking Son out of the game. And I thought he did a great job at that. He also provided an assist in there too, and I thought that he was just running around being a disruptor. Um, this to me was the example of a squad player, a squad performance. Like he said it before, where he's the artist that carries the piano. He's the one that carries the piano for the artist to play it. Today, he proved that on the pitch to me today, and so it's for me. It's I'm actually going between either an 8 or 8.5, and I thought that he was just that good today. So Greg,
Fred didn't just carry the piano today. Fred carried the piano and pull a violin out the pocket and add it to the tune too. Today, Fred added to the tune. Fred didn't just carry the piano.
Fred was
Greg B, what say you?
Fred was a different kind of gravy today. I'm not even going to lie. And like Phil and I were discussing earlier.
That will never get old.
No, it will not. No, it certainly will not. Anyway, so yeah. But Fred worked. Fred worked, and like you were saying, the way he was able to frustrate Son Heung-min for most of that game, it was good to see because he was really putting himself about, and you need that kind of energy because remember you're dealing with a Tottenham side that base a lot of the game on their energy, a lot of their movement because they're fast paced in the way that they try to counter on teams. So you basically frustrate one of their biggest outlets in Son Heung-min. You kind of have a stranglehold on the game. So, and Fred did just that. Got himself about, disrupted attacks, got an assist to his name on top of that too. So, apologize to that man. That's all I had to say. 7.5.
Big Phil.
I look at the small things, right? Fred kept the ball simple today, right? And that's what you want for your midfielders. So that's 2 points, right? Fred also had some great linking up play with Ronaldo. Ronaldo had link up play with two of the best players on the pitch today, and that's Sancho and Fred, right? So that link up play with Ronaldo, like over the pitch, and you can see that communication being displayed on the pitch today. That's another 2 points. So I'm at 4 already, right? Fred then had the assist. That's 6 points. And Fred going forward today was gliding past Spurs players. Gliding past, nutmegging.
Don't forget the nutmeg.
Yeah. The man nutmeg somebody and sent them back to God knows where.
I think
Right?
it was Kulusevski.
Kulusevski, well, he's sending back to Juventus, right? So that's another 2 points. So Fred accumulated points today was 8 for me.
Yeah.
I know it's the essay time. Let me sit back for this one.
Nah, Fred getting a solid 8. A solid 8. And all I have to say about Fred is that I love Brazilian Fred. You see the Guyanese Fred? We don't need that one. The Fred I was born too close to the border. No, I don't know which village in Brazil Fred come from, but I suspect he was close to the border and his mother probably made him on the other side. The Guyanese Fred, we could do without. But you see the Brazilian Fred? 8. Solid 8 today, Fred.
Yo, I am crying over here. No.
Gravy. You all right, Greg B?
No, I'm sorry. I haven't laughed this hard in weeks. I'm sorry. You know?
No, but I serious sometimes. Sometimes I used to call Fred the most un-Brazilian player I've ever seen. Right? The most un-Brazilian. But in recent times, you see that flick today to Ronaldo? I mean, come on. Come on, the man crossed
And
the
the funny
border,
thing
man.
is that earlier when Ronaldo was signed this season, a lot of people said that he and Fred would probably had the most fallouts throughout the whole team. When it turns out, it's now is Maguire.
True. True.
Oh my goodness,
And so
this
we
is
will
too
move
much.
into the forward line now, and we will start with
Mm.
Marcus Rashford. And
Weesh.
so, well, for I will start off with this one. It's to me he did the basics well, but that was about all I could say for him in this game. He tracked back, he pressed, he was getting the ball to players who were having better games than him. Um, I was expecting more from him in this match, especially with all the comments that came out in the press this week. But to me, it was a solid average performance, and I think I will go with probably be a 6.5 for him today. I will have to say, Greg B.
Yeah, that's a little too high for me, man.
Yeah, you can't give Marcus Rashford the same rating as Tellez and Dallo. That don't make sense. But
Yeah,
anyway,
The man can give
anyway,
honestly,
you any
honestly,
reason he want.
honestly,
true,
honestly,
true, true.
honestly, honestly. He like I said, he didn't have the worst game in the world, but it also below the standards that we know Marcus Rashford is capable of hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm gonna give him like a 4.5 because it's like, bro, probably
You think he
had the
was the worst
quietest
player?
compared to everybody else, yeah. Because like you said, he did the basics. The basics is why he gets the 4.5. Anything else out that goes forward, but he didn't really do anything outstanding. So if you look at everybody else on the pitch, how many times did you really see that you saw Marcus do anything outstanding for the game? If you're really being honest with yourself.
For me,
Nah.
it was the pressing that he did the best
Yeah,
today.
he pressed, and that's why I don't give him too much higher than that. I credit him for doing that. I credit him for trying to at least move the ball at times, looking for smarter passes in certain situations because his confidence is at a low, but he didn't do anything really outstanding and in the Marcus Rashford levels that we know. So for me, nah, 4.5. I'm sorry, it's harsh, but
Big Phil.
Yeah, I not gonna lie. I didn't know Marcus Rashford was on the pitch today, right? Um, when I noticed Marcus Rashford probably in the second half, I was gonna give this guy a 5, right? But this guy tried to take a ball off of Jadon Sancho when Jadon Sancho was dribbling. But Jadon Sancho won the foul in the end, right? But I see
yeah,
Jadon Sancho there dribbling, and I'm like, okay, cool. Beat your man, beat your man. You trying to tell me that he got to beat the opposition player and Marcus Rashford at the same time? That don't make sense. Like Marcus Rashford, you get a 4, boy. You get a 4.
Ah,
The man took the ball off of Jadon Sancho while Jadon Sancho was dribbling. 4.
you know, if it came to me first, I would have said Marcus Rashford was getting a 5. That was what, but the truth be told, after listening to everybody, I had to downgrade him. I would give him 4.5. Pogba performed off to his levels. Marcus was almost invisible. Almost invisible. You know what I mean? Um, you know, as I always say, when the second half come and everybody know who is the man to come off, you know you didn't have a good game. And anytime,
mm,
you know, the question is, well, who going to be the first substitution? It didn't matter who Ralph was bringing on. It didn't matter if he bring on Lindelof, Ilanga. It didn't matter who.
mm.
Everybody know the man that come off was Rashford because he just wasn't affecting the game. So yeah, 4.5 for Rashford.
Okay, and then we can move on now. Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho. They say I will leave the floor open now. Whoever wants to go first on this one.
I can start first. I ain't got no essays to say. I will give Jadon Sancho an 8.
Eight.
He had the assist for Cristiano Ronaldo, and he also was making Spurs players look silly. So 8. I say 8.5. He gets slightly higher than Fred, so 8.5.
I don't
Interesting.
know about higher than Fred, but
I
he had
had
a
them
good
both
team.
pretty about the same to me.
Yeah, yeah. But for me, honestly, yeah, I think he should at least get an 8 though, because he was decent going forward. Actually more than decent. He was dynamic because he was putting people in positions where it's like you saw how he was able to stay on side for that run against Regulon, getting in places, keeping a lot of the defenders back. So you want that from your wingers. You want them to be able to get into dangerous positions, to get crosses off, to be able to link up with the forward line. Jaden was doing that, and you can see that he grew into the game as it went on too. So he took it by the scruff of the neck. So for me, yeah, I would give him an 8
If Jaden continues to perform the way he's performing right now, he is going to be the player of the month for this
again.
month of March. Yeah, Jaden right now is balling, and
Hmm.
definitely deserve a 8 today. Solid 8.
So let me read off some stats right now about Jaden's game today. Right now, 100% shot accuracy, 1 for 1. 90% pass accuracy, 36 for 40. 54 total touches, 7 ball recoveries, 4 ground jewels won, 4 chances created, 2 interceptions, and an assist.
You see, he's
So
doing
to
work
me, that
at both ends.
Seven ball recoveries, you say there, you know.
yes, and
Nah, man,
so
that man get 9 by 9. Right, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
was
just
actually
kidding.
going to say, like, when I was trying to decide
Eight,
between,
eight.
like saying to me it's on this, it's it because him and Fred were, if it was not for Ronaldo today, we would have been arguing over the two of them for best player out there. And so it's, I know I said 8.5 for Fred, so I have to give the same rating as that for Jadon Sancho too. And so now we move on to, of course, Ronaldo.
Do we even need to give a rating for this
If,
man?
if I hear it, if
Nah, President Chad got essay, so
hear
let President Chad go first. He got essay.
if I hear interviews say anything below a 9 for this one, boy. But let's start right now. And in the comments, feel free to comment as well.
Press, go
President
ahead.
Chad, the
Get
floor is
get
Start
yours.
with President Chad.
your
Start
essay
with
out the
President
way,
Chad.
apparently.
I actually have absolutely nothing to say about Cristiano Ronaldo. All I have to say,
We can't see your hands.
Lazo, I done. I'm not even giving a rating. That's my rating.
We can't see your hands.
Don't worry. Never know. People just watch NFL knows.
Oh,
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Tom Brady tribute.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
it. That's it.
goodness.
I done. I don't know.
I mean,
Somebody sent him a text and say Tom Brady in his stands.
oh Lord. I mean, what else can you?
You know,
What else? What
And
other possible rating can
somebody
you give
when
a
they're
man who
talking,
scored
they
a hat
need to
trick?
mention Ronaldo's overall official FIFA goals
Yeah,
and the fact that he is
man broke the
yeah.
record today. 807 now.
And his
Eight
59th hat trick, his 59th career hat
807
trick.
not out. Yeah, I say 807 not out because the man's still going now. 59 hat tricks.
Sorry,
That,
sorry.
that, that, that
I have
is
one more thing to say about Cristiano. One more thing. All the Messi supporters, sit down.
Yeah, you talk about a difference that we a difference that we one gets knocked out of Champions League, one puts the team on his back, and so yeah, it's yeah, to me it's it's very hard to not give him a perfect rating today because to me it was he did he is the reason that we won today. And he scored like yeah a hat trick and he stepped up at big moments. Yeah, it's hard to run out of things to say about him that haven't been said already. So yeah, he gets a perfect 10 for me. Um, Big Phil,
Oh. Yeah, 807 goals, 59 hat tricks. Came up big for us today. And it was a performance that was needed, right? So I gave him a 9.7.
What did Peter Drury say after the Atalanta game? He said that the man is a storybook all by himself. That's all you need to say about that. I cannot. You let's face it. You get it. You score a hat trick. Nobody can really tell you anything when this day is done. So 10, 10. That's all I'm gonna say. 10.
So I was trying to decide right now if you think that we saw enough of the substitutes to give ratings to them, but I personally could not think of
Yes.
any for this one. So I think in this case we will move on to the manager right now, Ralph, and the floor is open for discussion on this, and this will be our last topic for today.
Ralph knows what he wants. I can say that much. He knows what he wants out of this team. He knows the kind of energy, the kind of structure, the kind of ability that they can get. But it's just down to the players to execute what he's asking of them. And a lot of us fail to realize that some of these players have been here under different managers and have yet to be able to implement what they've asked of them. So anything that goes wrong, there can be very few or far times in between where tactically Ralph can be setting up wrong for a team. In most instances, a lot of the times it's the players that have been letting him down. The City match is a classic example of that. Today, he had the tactics right. A lot of people, of course, will say why he picked Maguire again. That's I think it's a contractual thing. So I don't know what's going on there. But outside of that, I believe that he had the right setup for this whole situation. I mean, even losing Bruno to illness, it didn't necessarily affect what he wanted to do with this team. So I can't fault Ralph for this. This was well played today.
Yeah, Ralph definitely needed some sort of response from the team after what occurred in the Manchester Derby, right? Um, Ralph definitely has ideas, and it's up to the team to implement those ideas every single game day, not just come up on a certain game day, implement that idea, and then the next game is something totally different, right? And that's where the inconsistency in Man United has been over this season.
Mm.
A player rating for Ralph. I've never, I've never
Never
done
done
really
a
a player
rating for a
rating.
manager.
No,
Yeah,
not for player manager.
yeah. No, but at the end of the day, we can still do ratings for managers because don't forget Ralph brought on the likes of Fred and Elanga and they changed the game versus Leeds, right? For example, right? In terms of what he did today and with substitutions, um, you know what? I'll give Ralph a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. A solid 7 for Ralph. Um, the the one thing I want to say about Marcus Rashford today, Cristiano Ronaldo was getting a lot of criticism. People was wondering, were you really injured? Did you just you had a pissy fit because your name wasn't on the team sheet. You went to Portugal, nobody knew where you were. They put him manager under. Imagine you as a football manager at Manchester United getting asked questions in the press conference about did you know that where Ronaldo was over the weekend. We could do without that kind of drama. And Ronaldo came and he showed up. Marcus Rashford has been getting a lot of criticism for poor performances. These rumors about him wanting to leave, and he is yet to show up. So when I look at all the crap Ralph has to deal with on and off the pitch, Ralph and his substitutions continue to be on point. Cavani came on and ran his legs off. In the short space of time that he was on the pitch. Yeah, solid 7 for Ralph.
Greg B, I didn't get your rating for him. You just described him, but you didn't give me an actual rating for that one.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, you could. I'd share the same sentiments as Phil and Chad as well too. So about a 7 for that because it wasn't a perfect game, but it was good given the standards that he was expecting.
So for me, I was actually thinking to give him a little bit higher right now. I am actually thinking a 7.5. It was changes were needed. I thought he got the players needed to come off. He got that right. And I have a very strong feeling that when he brought on Cavani at that point, especially when we had that set piece, because now you had to worry about Cavani as well. So that was one less player they could put on Ronaldo to set up for that winner today. So to me, it's I think he is obviously you're showing that he is very tactically inept. He's getting his changes right. I think his man management is doing well too. He's giving players chances as well, giving them the opportunity to prove themselves. He handled this obviously with the world coming down after that city demolished the demolition. I think he handled it pretty well, and he came out there today and he showed yeah we can get a response, and I am looking forward to seeing what happens on Tuesday. Guys, it's been a great show today. Thank you so much for having me on. Any last thoughts from anybody here?
Manchester United have Tottenham Hotspur's number. I was very confident that we were going to win this game because it's Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? Seriously. The last time we were going through it, our back was against the wall and we played Spurs and Nuno lost his job. This time, going through the whole week, our back against the wall. A lot of people start questioning us, doubting us. Some of our own supporters, the amount of supporters I spoke to this week, that told me flat out, we're going to lose on Saturday. I was like, what? We're going to lose, all right, okay. So you think, but it's Spurs. You got to remember, we just call Spurs our top 16, but just remember that. It's Spurs.
All I got to say, yeah, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
Now keeping it short. Ronaldo is on 807 goals. When the Atletico Madrid game is over, I want it to be 808, 809, 810. And obviously Manchester United progressing to the next round as well too. So yeah.
All I'm going to say is this. Remember when everybody said that we should have hired Antonio Conte as manager?
Yeah.
I'm hearing crickets now. I'm hearing the sound of silence.
Where them at now? Where are those?
That's all I
fans
gotta
at?
say. I'm gonna do a classic Mourinho here, like
There was President Chad.
That Greg B, this is the perfect time for while you wait for them, you can drink water and mind your business.
Well, in my case, drink Gatorade. So
So this was a perfect example of Manchester United. We were knocked down, but we always rise back up. And it goes to say we keep that red flag flying high because Man United will never die. Till next time, guys. Take care.